What is the future of banking? Where is banking industry going to move forward, and how you will ensure that the banking industry goes to the next level? Well, last year of the decade ending with dramatic changes in banking sector, from amalgamation to liquidity crisis to low credit demand to huge defaults. Bankers went through many changes and challenges. So, will the situation change in 2020? That's a big question. Will bank turn around in 2020? What will drive the Indian banks in 2020? How will be the banking jobs in 2020? What will be the opportunities and challenges for banks in 2020? Now, these are some of the important questions which we will try to answer in this video. Now, on a lighter note, according to Chinese Zodiac, 2020 is an interesting number, and bankers are hoping that it will be a special year because they have already taken the toughest decisions last year, the results of which is awaited in 2020. So, what are these strict measures which the banks have taken? To keep high provision, control liquidity, not taking any exposure to NBFC, or bringing in new technology. Now let's talk about top 10 things that will drive bank in 2020. First is rise in credit growth. Now according to a recent report, retail banking will grow rapidly in 2020. Mortgage is going to grow fast and will cross 40 trillion by 2020. Currently the credit demand is low on both corporate and retail side. RBI has assured many a times that Indian financial system is stable despite weak growth, and it is going to rise in 2020. But according to rating agency ICRA, the credit rating in 2020 will be 50 years low. Major sectors such as auto real estate are down, and the banks are taking cautious call to preserve the liquidity. What gives hope in 2020 is the government's affordable housing scheme, a reduction in corporate tax, GST tax revision, RBI's 134 basis point rate reduction, and Finance Ministry push to empower bankers. I'm sure this will certainly help to boost credit growth. Point number 2 is recovery from bad loans. We all know that there have been certain important legislations passed to bring insolvency and bankruptcy code and national company law tribunal. Now banks will have to carry the baggage of bad loans in 2020 as well. IBC has made the debtor responsible, and the bankers are feeling strong like never before. Despite being a special law and deadline to close the cases, resolution is not easy. As per NCLT data, more than 10,000 cases under IBC are pending before NCLT, and this backlog will continue in 2020 as well. There are big accounts which are already pending for resolution, and I'm sure insolvency and bankruptcy code will be the best legislative intervention by the government of India to reduce NPAs. The third important step which the government has already taken, which is going to benefit the banking sector, is merger. Now, amalgamation of public sector bank was one of the bold decisions that the government took in 2019. Government of India merged 10 banks into 4, and now the number of public sector banks are reduced from 27 to 12. Many of the experts have supported the idea of merging banks. But the question is, how will they execute? The government has recapitalized banks, but the change in management, infrastructure, senior officer transfers are still in the process. Also, the government is very slow in recruiting the heads of public sector banks. It will be very important to see how government executes the after effect of the merger. And will government go ahead to reduce the stake in public sector banks to 51%? The next important step is private banks. Now, private banks have also gone through challenging times. Major private banks such as ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Yes Bank went through big reshuffle. All these banks got new CEOs. CEO of HDFC is going to retire in 2020. It is also crucial to see how they are going to handle the issue of debt. The fifth is improving customer service. The banks, because of the poor assets, are focusing more on deposits. But in 2020, the bankers will have to find innovative ways to attract customers and improve customer service. Bankers are already using good words like customer delight, customer experience to attract customers, but they should rather adapt in their daily dealings with the customers. The dealing with the customer should be smooth and easy. Point number 6 is innovation in 2020. Banking and financial sector is the flag bearer of technical innovation. From transfer of payment to obtaining loans is quite easy. In 2020, tech innovation in banking will significantly focus on voice and video banking. Data analytics, artificial intelligence, cognitive technology, blockchain technology, robotics will be widely accepted by banks. The seventh important point is collaboration and partnership. Now, fintechs have made a big difference in banking and finance space. Initially, it was seen as a threat to the bank, but gradually, fintechs have begun partnering with banks. Fintechs are bringing in the innovation that the banks couldn't. In 2020, the banks will collaborate and partner with market forces, from fintechs to e commerce players, to improve their business exposure. Number 8 is regulation. Now, RBI has already issued guidelines for regulatory sandbox and on tap license and payment. In 2020, new companies will enter payments, small finance bank, and fintech space. RBI's agenda is last mile connectivity and financial inclusion. Considering the fraud at PMC Bank, RBI has also decided to keep a watch on urban cooperative banks. Number 9 is cybersecurity. Now, one of the major worries for any bank is cybersecurity. After Cosmos Bank lost around 90 crores in cyber attack, the banks have become more watchful. There are thousands and lakhs of hackers who are working round the clock to cause havoc to the system, especially the banking system. They use most innovative tools to attract customers. And in 2020, the biggest challenge for banks is to protect themselves and their customers from cyber frauds. The 10th and the most important aspect is banking jobs. The job market in India is already hit by economic slowdown, but jobs in banking sector will remain on a higher note. There are many banks which have already come out with notifications for hiring good number of employees this year. So it's a good trend, and I'm sure this will certainly continue as well.